infinite diversity in infinite combinations. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, Star Trek. I believe it was a Vulcan proverb, as basically given to us by Leonard Nimoy's Spock in the original series. Infinite diversity in infinite combinations. And you might say, in a manner of speaking, the embracing of infinite diversity. Here's something I find interesting. Star Trek has always been about diversity and acceptance of that diversity. Celebrating it. You know, we are all part of the same working mechanism that is Starfleet, that is the Federation, but we all come from different backgrounds, all walks of life. We all have different credos and beliefs and religions and all these things, and yet we can all work together, unified. We're out there exploring the expansive, amount of unexplored space, encountering new alien species. Sometimes they are, repugnant to we, the humankind, who feels fit to deposit ourselves all across the galaxy. Others are that much more warmed and embracing as we aspire to be. If you go back to the original series, look at the original 7 cast members. You had Kirk, Spock, McCoy, who was kind of a country bumpkin in his origin. You had Sulu, an Asian character. You had Chekhov, a Russian. You had Uhura, a black woman, and Scotty, who was supposed to be Scottish. You had a representation on all these different cultural backgrounds. Fast forward ahead to Star Trek The Next Generation. You had an android. Like it or not, especially in our advancing technological society, AI and the singularity, these are things that are moving beyond just hypotheses. And so an android is part of the cast. You have a couple of black actors. You have a couple of women in lead commanding roles. Fast forward ahead again to Deep Space Nine. We have our first African-American leader. Arguably so, but in a lead role in a Star Trek series. One that, each one of these different series from TNG all the way up through Enterprise, each one of them was very divisive to the fan community. You had people reacting to The Next Generation saying, this is not my Star Trek. This isn't really Star Trek. Eventually it would win over franchise fans, that fandom. Similarly with Deep Space Nine, it's too war-oriented, it's not real Star Trek, it's not legitimate. And here was a show with, again, our first African-American commanding role, very strong women in Jadzia Dax and Kira Nerys. We had a changeling, we had a being that could change into different forms. This is something that exists, at least for the moment, beyond sort of reality. But I mean, there are many species on our own planet that are adaptable. Look at octopi that can change their consistency and change their look and everything like that. These are extensions of our real world, and there is a focus on this diversity and these people who, from all different backgrounds, even though sometimes they are butting heads, are still working toward the common unity that the outlying Starfleet Federation is all about. That was in its foundation. I'm like, how is this lost on anybody with this Star Trek Discovery trailer? And I'm seeing people saying, it's all politically motivated. It's SJW, politically correctness. 2 lead female characters, a captain and a first officer, respectively. Voyager, where we had a female captain. We had a woman in command. We had a woman engineer. We had 7 of 9 who, granted, might have been there for sex appeal, but was a very intellectual, compelling, deep and engaging character. What? What are you smoking? Enterprise, again, following in the footsteps of the original series, we had white characters, but we had a female Vulcan lead character. We had an Asian, and the pilot of the ship was an African-American. It was all about diversity. Different cultural significances in the backgrounds of these characters, and they came together. Why? Why do people watch this Star Trek Discovery trailer? And I mean, for those who are a Trekkie like myself, of course, I have reservations about it. Of course I do. It looks like it's the Kelvin timeline, the JJ verse, when they said this was supposed to be Prime, the Prime television TV universe. It looks nothing like that. It looks much more J.J. Abrams' filmverse, you know. And that was really my only reservation, was that why just not come out and say, well, this is spinning off from the filmic versions of the current Star Trek, you know, from 2009 to beyond. Just say that and I'm fine. I'll watch it with a wet appetite, with, you know, a very sort of excited curiosity, you know, that kind of thing. And that was really the only reserve I have about it. I never once thought, oh God, a female captain. Oh God, a female, and not only that, an African-American first officer. Oh, this is all politically motivated. Oh, this is SJW BS. Anyone who says that, anyone who reacts to a Star Trek property like that, is either completely out of their mind, smoking up like, you know, so much filth that is melting their brain cells, or absolutely ignorant and obtuse. This is Star Trek. Diversity, infinite diversity and infinite combinations is its founding premise, is, under the leadership of Gene Roddenberry, the creator, the focus of the series, of the franchise. It is the one through line through all of the different iterations and incarnations of Star Trek. Are you kidding me with the SJW politically correctness reactions to this? You got to be out of your mind. If that's your knee-jerk reaction, you're the problem. You're at least part of the problem. This is not to speak to the grander, you know, SJW politically correct movement that is a real thing, that is a pain in the ass more times than I care to count. But this is Star Trek. That's what Star Trek is. That's what it's about. This is like the one a-hole kid coming and bringing gum into the classroom, and then the entire class doesn't get to go on recess. They all suffer for this one kid's actions. So there are SJWs. So there is political correctness. So it's all absolutely ass backwards and insane. So now every property that comes out ever, if there's a female lead, oh, it's SJW stuff. Oh, if there's an African American, oh, if there's a Mexican, oh, if there's a you know, Asian or whatever, bite my ass with this stuff. I'm seeing it all told. Oh my God, the reaction to Wonder Woman. Do you know that apparently, according to these people, the same kind of people who are reacting to the Star Trek Discovery trailer, who believe that it is only motivated singularly by the SJW, you know, politically correct movement, that they believe that Wonder Woman is a movie that is only coming into existence because of SJWs and politically correctness? We can only have strong women like Wonder Woman who have been around for so many decades because of the SJW politically correct movement, according to these people. What the hell is wrong with people? Seriously. I think I fucked up my head. Pardon my French. That's my biggest takeaway from Star Trek Discovery. Apart from the fact that it's on an exclusive service that is a pay service, which irks me to no end. And I don't have the money. I'm not going to be paying for it. I'm going to have to watch it secondhand somehow. Hopefully through a friend's intervention or something along those lines when Discovery starts airing or streaming or whatever it's going to be. Or wait for the DVD, the inevitable DVD Blu-ray set. One way or the other, I am tentatively excited about Star Trek Discovery. And it never once crossed my mind that the diversity found within it was a tip of the hat to SJW politically correct political culture. that commentary never even remotely entered the even cursory borderline of any remote thought. For me. But that's what people really think. That's what people are reacting to. Oh, there's a woman in command. Well, hell, it's time to boycott this CBS and this Star Trek and everything like that, because I can't have my women's be in leadership roles. You're part of the problem if that's how you react to this. Enough said. Infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Love it or leave it.